Alright, welcome back to Paddling Pool. It is I, the spectacular Dally, joined by the lovely Zarin.
Indeed.
Alright. Here we got Arctic2 versus Sorti and Estres. I don't even know if that is Spanish or not, which I should not ever assume that it is, but we'll probably just call them phase. Well, my knowledge of French is very approximate because I've only studied French like 8 years ago. No, not 8, 7. Yeah, 7 years ago.
I think that's very good. Just default make it Spanish.
Yeah, my default is always Spanish. I need help.
Don't worry, I don't. My only default is English, so I'm just.
I default the English too.
At least you have 2 defaults. Anyway, we're gonna get into the first game. It's gonna be Clam Blitz Museum, and there's already a clash on my stream. What the frick? Okay.
Well, I'm not gonna call what I usually call it, but it's a very interesting pick. I've always felt like Clash Blaster could be have a niche because I always thought it has a very good kit in Splat Bomb and Trizuka, which I think pairs very well with the main weapon.
Indeed, especially since it never got a good kit in Platoon 2, right?
Yeah, Stingray Splat Bomb, that's not cutting it. Not to mention Curling Missiles also isn't too much of a help either. Yeah, there's just so many better missile weapons for it. But we're gonna be starting things off also on Museum Clam Blitz, which I think it's gonna be a while before we see any scores because it's just being a major slugfest for mid right now.
Yep, yes indeed. It just seems to be going back and forth at the moment. They're just trying to fight for mid, get the clams. Though Arctic2, very important, are the ones with the clams at the moment. They've got 12, while Sorti and Phase 3 don't have any, but that's more because they haven't been able to be in mid in a little bit. So Arctic's trying to find their ability to push in here. They've got their power clam, but Sorti and Phase 3 still able to keep them out just long enough for more players to be able to come back in again.
Yeah, there's some pretty good defense defending off their plat, preventing LRT from getting a push in. But what's FaZe got left in them? I'm not sure. This Crab Tank's just gonna help stall for time, already finding a pick, so this is gonna delay some time, but Machine's gonna get a pick off on that on Splash. I'm like messing up all my words. Oh boy.
It'd be like that, don't worry. But already, Nikuri here with the power clam, able to come in and maybe not get a push. Never mind!
Was that a triple by the Trizuka? Or at least a double?
It was at least a double. But yeah, this is a very quick turnaround where Arctic are now the ones on the enemy plat. And with 3 down, this is definitely there's nothing they can do against that, especially
that's a wipeout too,
wipeout.
So this is definitely guaranteed a handful of clams in.
Yep, but how many are they going to be able to get in? Because they don't have very many between them. And no one's back in mid getting any more. Except they are able to get 3 more there, which helps. And it does seem like they're finally collecting more from mid to try and get the most out of this. Hero here, ready to get them over the 50-point mark. And yeah, Sorti and Phase aren't. This is not looking good.
Yeah, this is definitely not a very ideal situation for Sorti. As more clams are getting pushed in, dang, all the way to 29. That's quite a lot of clams, but it looks like they're finally going to be able to get some traction, just to push them out of their spawn by getting 2 picks.
Yep,
now it's their turn to start getting back into mid. Already the Stamper finding a pick on someone, unfortunately getting crushed by it. However, now we're going to see, looks like there's a duel over here. Well, there's no more duel anymore. Oh well.
Yeah, both sides being a bit careful, and then almost immediately, as soon as they're not being careful, people start dying. The Inkjet was looking for them, but another person got the kill. Oh, that is important. The crew there making sure that they can't push back in with that power clam, at least not yet. Trying to get their missiles, and there we go. Oh, missiles down for a reason.
Well, missiles aren't as easily spammed in this game because of that one nerf that he gave him. Which, thank the... I don't know what Splatoon deity exists.
Thank the devs that they did that. Oh my god.
Yeah, we gotta thank the Splatoon devs for doing something right. Please don't gut Crab Tank. That's what I'm hoping for, even though it probably isn't popular.
Still in the meta enough. Ooh. Very good shots there from that sloshing machine. They're able to take that guy down almost immediately. Also, should mention, 15 seconds left before overtime. Sorti and FaZe haven't got anything in yet. They do have power clams, but they haven't got anything in yet, and they're 2 down. This is not ideal.
It isn't ideal. It's just Arctic has such great defense. Their defense is just as good as their offense. So now specials are going to have to be expended to get into mid. And no picks are also available. So with the clock ticking, there isn't going to be a whole lot of time. So this power clam needs to figure a way in. Or, well,
doesn't look like
I don't think it's going to be able to get in now because...
Nope.
Yeah, that's game.
Oh my goodness. Well, that'll be the first game of the set. Yeah, Sorti and FaZe just weren't really able to do much beyond getting into mid and getting Arctic out of their spawn. That does seem to be all they were able to manage there, though it can be a difficult map to push on unless you have like the numbers advantage, right? Which I suppose a lot of maps are kind of like that, but
yeah, and it's also kind of hard to get consistent control of the plat because that basically essentially becomes the new mid if you think about it, because once you get control of the plat, the enemy's just able to engage you from their spawn from high grounds as well.
Yep. There's a lot of ways to play that, and Arctic played it quite well. But that does mean we are going to be moving on to Splatzone's Manta, which we have already seen before.
Oh yeah, we've seen that in the groups, I believe.
Yeah. So, interesting to see if there's any difference on this. Like, there was still some back and forth, but Sorti and FaZe weren't able to actually reach the point of getting close enough to the basket, anything in it. But they might be able to turn this around for Splat Zones. They might be able to fight for mid, and maybe keep it from Arctic. I don't know. It depends on how both teams decide to play this, because I think Arctic could definitely go like very aggressive, and Sorti and FaZe might not be able to handle that. But it all depends. It all depends.
It all depends on what happens, because it's a new map. It's also a new mode. Anything can happen. There still is
all to play for.
There still is time.
But yes, if Arctic win this, Sorti and FaZe 3 is out. Single Elim, reminder. So this is an important match for them. 2 sloshing machines. Oh my god.
Can't stop the meta. You can never stop the meta. And here we're going to be having a duel of different anchors. Heavy versus Z/F.
Interesting.
Oh man. Well, I've said this before, but Charger isn't really too great on this map, but it can still get the job done. As we can see, already a good pick from the crew on the machine from the start. And it looks like Arctic, for the first time, actually put in a bit of a disadvantageous state right now. Oh.
Yes indeed. Yeah. Oh, that was a good placement for those triple strikes. That was very well played there. And yes, if Sorti and FaZe is able to hold this, that is the important part here, because we've seen earlier, not from these two teams, but we've seen how you can get a good start on splat zones and then it can kind of fall apart and then you can't get back in again. So it's important that Sorti and FaZe play this right, and it does look like at the moment they're doing that. They're able to isolate Arctic and stop them from really doing too much damage. They're already... Sorti and FaZe is already down to 35 here, right?
Yeah,
it looks like they might lose the zones, but that's still a very good start.
And with Tri-Strikes coming in, it looks like they're going to be able to get the recaps for both of the zones. I'm a little bit shocked that Arctic decided to opt for a double machine comp, because it's splat zones.
Yeah, it does.
But I figured they would have only gone for one, as paint is a bit more important in splat zones than killing. However, whatever reasons they have behind it, I'm sure it was for a good reason. Because if you're able to establish a lock with Machine's ledge pressure on this map, oh, that's unreal. That's going to be difficult for Sorti and FaZe to get through.
Yep, yes, indeed. Though, a lot of the time, from what I've been seeing, Sorti and FaZe, like, they'll go down, one or two of them will go down, but they've not been wiped yet, and they've always had a constant pressure in mid, which is very, very different from what we were seeing the last match, which is why it's working so well for them. Because even when Arctic is able to get a foothold and start working away at the point, they're still... Sorti and FaZe are still in mid somewhere, making it difficult, even though like there's still times where Arctic has been able to get the upper hand, at least a little bit. So
yeah, there's always going to be those moments, and oh boy, catching off the heavy while they're there. It's only one player remaining. The zone's going to be flipping into control, and the machine's going to get a pick on the crew. I think that machine's just going to be able to stay there long enough to stall out zone until the team is able to re-come back. But already, there's still plenty of people on the side of and FaZe ready to just maintain control, keep painting, and oh, that's 3 down on
That's
Arctic.
3 down. That is 3 down. This is literally what we just saw happen. And yes, the sloshing machine is still able to get a kill, but it's not what Arctic really need right now, because those points are working their way down. Look at them. They're almost down to actually working away at their points, but this might be enough from the Tri-Strikes to switch them. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be enough. Hero there just trying to keep it painted, but that's 2 down for Arctic again.
Yeah, triple link strikes once again proving to be as annoying as they are special. Unfortunately, they are very spammable. But this is probably a really good time for Arctic to try to maintain control, to get control of zones again, because they were up 2 players currently. Ouch! It's a good splat bomb.
That was a good splat bomb, and it was important to get that slush machine out of there, because they were able to stay there for quite a long period of time. One player was trying to go in and get a flank there, and another one not quite able to do that. That's constantly seems to be 1 or 2 people down on the side of Arctic, and it's really not helping. Like, even when they're trying to go for their kills, they might get a couple, but then they can't get the zones.
I'd say it's also more than that. Just whenever they're trying to go for a lock, they're just always getting down the player at not great times. They could always try playing patiently or something. But this is going to be going to end phase 3.
That is not what I was expecting from that game, but I think there was a number of factors. Yeah.
It's a new game, it's a new map, it's a new mode. Sometimes the other mode just doesn't favor you as much. But you're always able to you can always pick yourself up on a new map, you know?
Absolutely. And with MakoMart on Tower, that can be a very back and forth. Like,
it could be back and forth or end in a snowball.
Yeah, but you can get really stuck at that second checkpoint. Or no, the third checkpoint. Third checkpoint.
I think second checkpoints where people get stuck at a lot more.
But if they can get up onto the that kind of perch area, then they can be able to push through. But once you get to that third checkpoint, a lot of the time, like the team that you're fighting against can just like land on you. But even then, yeah, getting through second and third checkpoint can be quite difficult, especially if the team's there to fight back against you. And spawn's not that far. But yeah. So,
exactly. That's why I think second checkpoint's more annoying because it's just you're surrounded by high areas and it's the first checkpoint that difficult checkpoint you have to get through. Because after getting that checkpoint, you can win the game off that.
If you stop.
And the third checkpoint is a lot more optional and more like applicable, as if you really got the steamroll going. You got the snowball.
You can get to that point. Yeah. No, that's fair. That is fair. But it does seem like this is obviously, as we were talking about, single elim. So both teams really have to be thinking about what they're going to be running on this and how they're going to go at this, I suppose. Because I don't know if I would expect Arctic to maybe change after that last game, but they were still getting a lot of kills. So it could. I kind of would expect them to keep the sloshing machine, because sloshing machine on this map, excellent choice. However, we are seeing the return of the Clash Blaster, which that worked very well for them in the other match. And I think it can do well right here too, because it pressures ledges and also is just annoying. We all remember when we used to hate Clash Blasters, right? Well, I'm here to tell you I never got over my hate. That was what I was gonna ask there. Also, already, that's 3 down for Arctic. That's 3 of them off of that first, just fight. Oh my goodness. Okay, I didn't really know what happened there. But yeah, that's Sorti and Phase through the first checkpoint already. And they're gonna be trying to work their way to that second one. But as we were mentioning before, it can be incredibly hard to get through that. But yeah, they're still trying to get to it.
At least they're able to defend off that first prevent them from getting to second checkpoint, because that means that they can have some form of breathing room until they can get to their one pick on the favor of Arctic, and they can really start making their push, the trade between 2 players, and already they're at first checkpoint.
Yep. So they're working through, and there we go. They've got through it, which means they're not too far off of getting to where Sorti and Face was able to get to.
Ooh, this is a pretty fun inkjet. So I like it because they can get they can annoy the charger for a little bit longer. Except I think they're drop roller clutch right there, and Lead's gonna be. Wait, Lead's not flipped. I thought it flipped right there. It's just the shot, but the shot's just gonna get pushed off. They have to jump.
Yes, pushed back into Sorti and Phase's spawn there, and they were not, as you were saying, Arctic were not able to get the lead from that. They got 253, but they needed to get to 52 before they actually got that lead.
I thought they would have gotten that lead because it was just so close, but yeah, sometimes things don't always go the way that you'd expect it.
Yep, yes indeed. Sometimes it just doesn't quite go to plan.
Not always, but I think they. Oh, well, that guy jumped out. I thought they were going to try to go for a shark, but they must have been noticed already.
Yep, and
but
there's lead.
Now this is the lead swap.
There we go.
Excellent shot by the charger on the tower. Already checkpoint 2 is getting eaten up by a little bit, and I think they're getting past it. So it's already the hardest part of the checkpoint made look easy as insert some word. Oh, this is hype.
absolutely. That's 2 down for El Arctic, but is oh my goodness, the slashing machine's able to take down 2 as well.
Back, and that's a wipe.
That's gonna be a wipe. Oh my goodness, they're able to keep working on these points, and their team's back onto the tower at this 3rd checkpoint. And they're through. They're through it.
They got past it too pretty easily. Now it's just a race to knockout. The teams are also even right now. People are jumping back into mid on the side of El Arctic. This is a very tough lead for and FaZe to get through.
It is indeed. It is gonna be very difficult for them. If they can get like a 2-person advantage, then they can really start moving on it. But even then, it can be very, very easy for someone to just sneak a bomb on the tower or just drop a special on it, and then there you go, push over. And we're down to a minute left here. This is Sorti and FaZe are gonna be feeling the pressure here.
Yeah, it's all the pressure, and especially in this last minute, going down 2 players. Well, El Arctic is down players currently, so they can very much get control of the tower. But right now, they need to make sure that they get the right picks necessary. They need to make sure they get picks on the machine and the T-Tech, because those 2 weapons have hard stop specials, I like to call them, because they are easily throwable at the tower and they force people off.
Yep. Ooh.
Excellent shot right there by Nijuru. The crew. Yeah. Oh! Amazing.
Yep, followed up by another one. And there we go, there's that, oh my goodness, there's the tri-strike.
Defensive inkjet. There's a double by the defensive inkjet. We'll stall out for time even more. There isn't enough,
There's no one on the tower though.
There's just 1 player left and they couldn't grab the tower, so that is game.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, what a good game and what a good set. Damn, but yes, that inkjet really, yet again, stopped the tower in the tracks there. There was they couldn't get back on it. Well, there was only 1 of them left, as you were saying. But that was a very, very good last push there from Sorti and FaZe. They got quite far, seeing as they'd only pushed to, what, like 54, 53? So
they got to 2nd check.
Yeah, exactly. They were able to get to that, and they almost got through it, so fair play. But that set will be going to El Arctic too, and sadly Sorti and FaZe have been eliminated. But I do believe
it is time.
It is time.
Yeah. It is time for us to do the commentator swap.
Indeed. Indeed it is. We got an extra set though, which is always hype.
But yes. But I'd say that was attributed to a bit more of a shorter set than anticipated. However, on to the real business. So before we close things off, where could we find you around, Zari?
You can find me at SPLZarany on Twitter and just Zarany on Twitch. I'm a bit of a streamer. What about yourself, Dilly?
Alright, you can find me at Twitch and Twitter at DaleFoxition.
Very, very nice. Hell yeah. But yes, we are going to hand on over to, I think this is Pat J and I don't know how to pronounce that person's name. Asect. The Splatoon gods have told us Asect. But yes, we're going to be passing on over.
I told you. Well, more like Majora told you. Majora is our streamer, so make sure you props to Majora for sticking around for the entire tournament.
Yes, every week. Oh god, could never. But yes, thank you everyone for having us. These have been some awesome games, and I can only imagine they're going to get even more so, as I think you're going to be getting into the quarterfinals next.
Yes.
I think that's next. So definitely stick around. This is probably going to be quite a short break before you get your new commentators back. So I suppose thanks for having us. And
yeah, thanks for having us.
Enjoy the rest of the stream and the tournament, guys. Hell yeah.
Wait, that was doing one thing
into
on
the
the bomb?
triple right
Excuse me?
there, and it's not gonna help them. That's a wipeout, and of course this means Chewit, that Rainbow is yours for taking.
They get one of the power clams in. They're gonna try and
Two
get
of the
that
power
second.
clams.
They get a second. They get a third in. That is the KO.
3 down as well. Shock Reef are and the double Kraken. Spin it. Spin the Kraken on time. Get the checkpoint. They don't even need to.
They gotta stay on this. There's people coming from all sides. Who's gonna be able to stay on it? No, Robbie Tomodachi's able to get back onto it.
Surf's up! It's high time for another Tropical Throwdown. Join us June 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern for your shot at a chunk of the $200 prize pool. Whether you're a squid or a kid, players of all skill and division are welcome. Take this chance at competing with the best players in competitive Splatoon. In celebration of Pride Month, we will be fundraising for a charitable project during the event. We'll see you on the shores.
Splatoon Stronghold, a stronghold for competitive Splatoon, providing resources to long-timers and newcomers alike. If you're new to the competitive scene or still figuring out how to join, we have a getting started guide and plenty of other resources to help you in your journey. If you are a seasoned veteran, we still have plenty to offer. You can find and join tournaments as well as participate in our Captain Forum and find free agents and teams. Our mission is to make competitive Splatoon easily accessible to everyone. So what are you waiting for? Join the Splatoon Stronghold today!